Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the delayed Lesson 16 practice live stream. Today we're going to be covering Lesson 16 of Genki 2, and we're going to be doing a lot of practice exercises with it. Thank you for being here tonight. Before we get started, I just want to go over a few quick things. If you're here to actually do the Lesson 16 and learn a little bit about Lesson 16, then what you want to take a look at is this green thumbnail here with Lesson 16, the no chat version of the Lesson 16 live stream. Or if you want to see the entire full stream with all of the chat interaction, look for the light blue thumbnail. So light blue thumbnail like this, that's the full stream. Light green, that's the no chat version. And then the black version like this one, this is the practice live stream. So for most people, if you're not here live, you're probably not going to want to be watching this one. I know some people enjoy it, and if you do, if you're one of those people, let me know down in the comments. That's awesome. I love that you're using it, and I hope that you find it useful. But if you actually want the lesson, check out these ones over on the channel. There's a playlist on the main page if that's what you are looking for. If you really enjoy Toki ni Andy or find it really helpful and would like to consider supporting the channel, please consider checking out the Patreon. There's a $5 and a $10 tier. The $5 tier has listening and shadowing videos, tests for each of the Genki lessons, grammar lesson stream live cuts. They're released early, except for last week because we were moving, and a bunch of other stuff. And the Lesson 10 one has textbook practice videos where Yuki and I are your partners for the textbook practice in the back of each lesson, and vocabulary videos where we go over each vocabulary word in each lesson of Genki. We also have a merch store, and if you look down below this video right now, there's actually a join button where you could become a member of this YouTube channel if you wanted to, and have a cool little mark next to your name like Carpe Diem has right now on her name in the chat, and a cool green name and some exclusive, what are they called again? Emoji. Yeah, emoji. So anyway, before we go ahead and get started with this stuff, doing for others, very polite request, expressing hopes and wishes and describing when in Japanese, and also apologizing for specific actions. Before we get into the practice for all of that, let's go ahead and say hi to everyone who is in chat. Thank you for being here, guys. Sorry for the delay on this lesson. As you can see, we are in a new location, and it was a lot more isogashii. Isogashikatta. It was a very busy move. There was a lot more cleaning than we expected. There was a lot more things that needed to be done than we were expecting, so it just wasn't feasible for us to finish lesson 17 content in time. So we decided we should just push off everything 1 week, and that gave us a little bit more time. Hopefully we can finish by next week. We should be able to. But anyway, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and say hello to Carpe Diem. Good evening, Carpe Diem. Come to Japan, Dan. Fear Drowsy, first stream at 4 a.m. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you can stay awake, and I hope you find it useful. Wanna-Knit, hello from the UK. Good evening. Good to see you. Carpe Diem says, I was up till 4 a.m. watching The Untamed on Netflix. I've never heard of it. Granted, I haven't been able to go on Netflix in a while. How was it? I imagine it must be good if you're up to 4 a.m. watching it. Thanks for recommending smashing that like button. Coming to Japan, Dan. I appreciate that as always. And Radclaw. Ohayo gozaimasu. Bara Blakey. All right, here we go. Wanna-Knit says, yay. New studio. Yes, indeed. It's well worth it, so join the Patreon quickly, says Carpe Diem. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Felipe Fernandez. Sobarzo. I'm a bit behind, but I'll watch it anyway. Welcome, welcome. I hope you find it useful anyway. That thick chair, says Info Abroad. Michael says, 新しい職場なの? 新職場なの? 引っ越し? What? Says Michael. Indeed, yes, it's a new place. As you can see, we've been working on the background. There's still some things on the outskirts that need some work. We weren't able to finish everything. I've got a cool woodcut picture back there. There's Yuki over there. Yeah. That back there is a piece of art we picked up. Local guy carves that. That's carved out of wood, so it's actually kind of 3D. It's pretty cool. Local artist made that. It's of a, well, I don't know exactly what it's of. There's like a little red house. Here, if we zoom in on there, I really like it. You can see the texturing of the wood. It's pretty cool. And I've got all my Genki books, and you can see my dictionaries back there. Anyway, yeah. So new studio. I'll have to do a tour of that sometime soon. Wow, 9K subs, says Info Abroad. Yeah, thank you. Sientarim, omedetou, arigatou gozaimasu. Yes, we hit 9,000. We hit 9,000. Indeed, we did. 9,150 today, actually. It's pretty surprising. So yes, we moved. This is the new office slash studio. There's still lots of work to do in here. I got lots of setting up to do. And this chair, as info above, I didn't like it at first. I'm still not sure about it. The lumbar support pillow is a little bit too thick, I feel like, but I'm starting to get used to it. I gave it to Yuki for a little while, and then yesterday I was doing a bunch of work, so I decided to give it another shot, because I do have to sit a lot. And it's a little bit better now. So, we gotta get Yuki another one. She sits a lot too now, so. Also, we need to get standing desks. But, ii kanji desu ne, says Michael. Arigato. Come to Japan says, looks great. Thank you. Hello, mina, says Yuki. Wana nit. Says you. All right, so. Yeah. So, I did actually, we filmed an apartment tour of my last place. And thank you. This is a local band called, Kotonoha. It's a local band sweatshirt. I played a few shows with them, and I bought one of their sweatshirts. Kotonoha. Yep. Hold up. Kotonoha. You can see it. It's hard to read, but it says Kotonoha. Local hardcore band. Thank you. No, Yuki soft in the chair for here. That might be it, actually. What instrument do you play? I play drums, actually. On the Discord today, I actually had a live performance. Just one song at the high school that I work at. There was a winter live show, and we live streamed it. The live stream was not. They were having some difficulties, but it was fun. Where do we get the autographs? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. One day. But anyway, yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have something separate. We used to stream from within the same room that we slept in, the same room we did everything in. So it was very, how should I put it? You were never away from work. So like I'd go to sleep and I'd be thinking about work. But now that the office is separate from where we do everything else, I can actually fall asleep, which is very, very useful, very helpful. So anyway, we filmed an apartment tour before we left the last place. So I'm going to be putting that up on a separate channel soon, hopefully. Soon. I haven't had a chance to play with the edit, but we'll get there. And we're almost done with everything that needs to be done with this place. So we're going to film a tour of this place too. And hopefully you guys can enjoy that. I just want to point out, ever since I am working, it is hard to keep up with these lessons. Please appreciate all the time you get with Andy. Yeah, man. You're working your butt off there. I hope your back is okay. I know that chair is not comfortable. You can't see me in chat because I've got you on my telly because I'm multitasking. Naruhodo, Aubergine Archer, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And hello from your television. How you doing over there? Always wanted to play the drums. They're fun. I don't know if you guys did. I uploaded a picture of my electronic drum set in the music room, right? Yeah. It's on the Discord. Alright guys, instead I ended up learning cello, piano, guitar, and ukulele. Ukulele, I'm assuming is what you're saying there? Still, that's a bunch of instruments. If you can play that many instruments, you should have no problem. I'm so used to looking over there to see you guys. The camera's on the other side, I gotta get used to that. If you could play that many instruments, you could probably learn drums, no problem. If you can play piano. Piano's a, what do you call it? Percussion. Piano is technically a percussion instrument, right? So if you can play piano, you can play drums. No problem. Gotta use your feet and stuff too. I did the flute. Nice. All right. Ukulele, nice. All right. Yeah, I play a little bit of guitar and drums. Poorly. Everything poorly. But it's fun to mess around with. How can you tell if a stage is level? Check to see if the drool falls evenly from each side of the drummer's mouth. That's probably true. Alright guys, well, let's go ahead and jump. I play ukulele as well, says Come to Japan. Really? Nice. We'll have to have a Tokini Andy live show, or a Come to Japan live show down in Fukuoka. Everyone can meet up when you guys finally get over here. So, you guys may remember... Oh, I guess it's this page. The things we covered 2 weeks ago. It's been a while, so... You might have forgotten, but we covered te ageru, te kureru, someone does something for me, te morao, get someone to do something for me, or I receive a benefit from someone's action, and stuff like that. Te morao, te kureru, te ageru. Boku wa Yuki ni ocha o katte ageta. I bought tea for Yuki. Yuki wa boku ni ocha o katte kureta. Yuki bought tea for me. Boku wa Yuki ni ocha o katte moratta. I made Yuki, or I got Yuki to buy tea for me. Boku wa Yuki o shigoto ni tsurete ageta. 連れて行ってあげた. This is the actual correct sentence. That one, ignore it. That one was wrong. I brought Yuki to work as a favor. So that was our first section from last week. 手あげる, 手くれる, and 手もらう. But that's not what we're learning today. Today's the practice stream. So for those of you who remember how to use that, or you've been practicing it lately, we will review with the first question from last time, 2 weeks ago, which was, what is something that you did for someone recently? It may be something different from the last time we did this lesson, so who knows? Something I did for someone recently was 友達に日本語を教えてあげた. By 友達, I mean you guys. I taught you a little bit of Japanese, hopefully. Felipe says, Japan is the paradise of synthesizers. One day I want to visit the Roland Museum. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Where is the Roland Museum? 楽器できるの素敵. Yeah, my drums are Roland. そうそう。前のキーボードもローランドじゃなかったっけ？買ってあげたやつ。うん。じゃな、違うんだ。違うんだ。ジェームスーシ
それだったら売らないよ。
まあそっか。いや、売るしかなかったじゃん。ここには持ってこれなくない？ Alright. So that is your first assignment. What is something you did for someone recently? Please use 手あげる. And, 静岡. Okay. It's a bit far. そうだね. Yuki's brother-in-law lives close to there, or was born close to there. 実家ね. He's born. So please use the past tense of 手あげる, 手あげた. Or you can use the present tense and say something you plan on doing for someone in the near future. For example, 友達にご飯を作ってあげる. I will make food for my friend, for example. By the way, how does everything sound? I haven't actually done a live stream here yet, obviously, so I don't know how the acoustics are sounding live. I did a few recordings of myself using the streaming software. So I think it's okay, but let me know how it sounds. I know, yeah, and how it looks, I guess. 今日、家族のために夜ご飯を作ってあげた。素晴らしい。いいね。何が作ってあげたの？ダン。奥さんに皿を洗ってあげた。いいね。優しいね、シアンタニム。Good sound here. Sweet. Glad to hear it. 僕は贈り物を買ってあげた。You bought 贈り物を買ってあげた。You bought ギフトね。贈り物。なぜか贈るものを勝手に思った。で、なんで買ってたんだろう。ギフトね。贈り物を買ってあげた。Christmas gifts. Nice. 家族にうちでクリスマスに飾ってあげました。クリスマスをクリスマスの何ってことでしょうね。飾りクリスマス飾りを飾ってあげました。Okay, so one on it. You'll need to specify what it is. So Christmas is just the holiday, it's the event. So you'll need to either say クリスマスの something. So for example, クリスマスの木。クリスマス木だけでいいのかな？ツリーって言うんだ。Okay, katakana English for tree apparently. Christmas tree. Or if you're just talking about decorations, that's 飾り. So クリスマスの飾りを飾ってあげました. So the に there's only one に and that's for your family. 優しい男性が多い. 確かにそうだね. Sounds a little more reverby than normal, but could just be me. It is possible. It's probably because usually I'm right up here on the mic. I'm sitting a little bit further back than usual. So that's probably part of it. But also it is probably a little bit more reverby in here because I could turn this down a little bit. Well, there's not much in here. I gotta put some dampening stuff on the walls to make it a little bit less echoey. So it's very possible. Sorry about that. I'll check it out I'll check it out after the fact. I'll download it and see if there's anything I can fix about that. Hopefully it's not too annoying. ドイツのソーセージを作った。いいですね。クリスマスツリー。誰にも何もしてあげ なかった。学校の際に集中しすぎるんですから。なるほどね。学校のために集中しすぎるですから。なるほどね。誰にも何もしてあげなかった。学校のために集中しすぎているんかな、しすぎているんですから。
集中しているんで、あ、そうだよね。
集中しすぎているんですからね。You'll probably want to the ている because I imagine you're still focusing too hard on school, yeah? So 学校のためにhaving a hard time with た recently. 学校のために集中しすぎているんですから is what you want there. To keep the, because you're still focusing, I imagine. Honestly, sounds really good on my end. Using nice Bose noise canceling headphones. Sweet. I'm glad to hear it. 誰が？いやいや、違う違う。それは関係ないかな。一人が、バラがちょっとリベーブが多いって言われたんだけど、Come to Japan は、いや、大丈夫って言った。Can actually hear Yuki much better than before. Yuki 今度の方が聞こえるんだね。She's at the same level as me. So she's actually very, very close. I mean, like, if we go full screen, she's right there.
なんでそうやっていきなり出すんだよ。
ごめんね。You were blurry. But, yeah, I'm using a wider angle lens now because I want the background to show up this time. So, anyway. Sound very clear, but you do sound a bit like you're in a big empty space. It's fine here. Yeah, I'll do something about that. We'll get there. We'll get there. All in good time. Sweet. Okay, guys, good job. So, the next question is very similar, but what is something you made someone do for you, or that you had someone to do for you recently? What is something you had someone to do? You had someone do for you recently. To do. Good job, Andy. You had someone do for you recently. What is something you had someone do for you recently? Does that make sense? What is something you had someone do for you recently? Okay, got it. Yes. Okay. So, 友達に日本語を教えてもらった。I made my friend or I had my friend teach me Japanese. So I used basically the same sentence, but I made my friend teach me. 友達に日本語を教えてもらった. So remember, てもらう has a sense of getting someone to do something for you, making them do something for you. Not so forcefully as making, perhaps, but I got someone to go get me a drink of water or something. 水を取ってもらった。取っていってもらったかな? I had them go grab a water for me. So something like that. What is something that you had someone do for you recently? If you can't think of anything you had someone do for you recently, or you're extremely agreeable and therefore never ask anyone to do anything for you, for starters, you should get on that. But also, you can use te kureru to say someone did something nice for you. Instead, if you can't think of anything with te morao. So my sentence was, 友達に日本語を教えてもらった. That's not true. I don't think I did that. Well, I guess I had Yuki teach me something. それはありえるね。なんだっけ、この前教えた言葉。私立もはかなり前ですね。俺がもっと最近の話。なんかないのかな。Let's turn the gain down. Oops.
あ、インフルエンサーの人
やばい。でかーい。はいはいはい。My gain on my mic is all over the place. Hold on. That's probably too high. Right there. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that's not too loud. Switched over to iPhone earbuds and it does sound a bit reverbish. なるほどね。未来の自分に勉強頑張ってあげて偉いね。あ、いいね。夫から紅茶を 入れてもらいました。いいですね。ナイス。娘にパンケーキを作ってくれた。
あ、もらったんだ。
もらったね。作ってもらった。So you had her make it. If you want to use くれた, then it would be 妹がパンケーキを作ってくれた。そうね。私に、僕に、娘が私にパンケーキを作ってくれたね。The 私に is implied usually with くれた, so you don't really need to enter your name, but you'll use wa or ga with the with the person who did it for you. So 娘がパンケーキを作ってくれた. But if you got her to do it, then it needs to be, then the ni is correct, and you need to say 作ってもらった。旦那さん素敵 says Wananit. But again, sounds good on my good headphones. Gotcha. Good evening, Kyushu Trails. Good to see you. How's it going, man? By the way, come to Japan, and Kyushu Trails started a new channel. It's take a look at this.
ちょっとつもしん
Kiko, me and Yuki like this. Let's take a look if I can find it. Japan なんとかカメラ Trail Cam かな?
ちょっとつもしん
Ah, here it is. This is them. Japan Trail Cam. This is their new channel. You guys should check it out. There's lots of cute stuff on there. Like, check out Chonkers. This guy is crazy. He's huge. Take a look. Take a look at that. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. That's Come to Japan and Kyushu Trail's new channel. Look at him. He is a chunker. So they've got cute birds and all kinds of other little animals that they're catching on their trail cameras and showing to the world for free. So check out their YouTube channel if you get a chance. Oh, merch. Sweet. Let's go back to here. 彼女にケサディヤを料理してもらった。Oh, nice. That sounds delicious. So not u, you want a small tsu, ne? So もらった. I'm sure that's just a typo though. ありがとうございます says Michael. No worries. Oh, that was supposed to be okay. You already got it. See antonym もらった. Okay, that makes sense then. Wild イノシシね。
イノスケです。
イノスケか。Thanks, Andy. You're welcome. 大きい豚。そうそう。イノシシなんですよ。イノシシ。はい。Thanks for the plug. すごい。Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff over there. Check it out if you get a chance.
私のジョーク全然通じ
イノスケ通じてるよ。みんなに通じてるかわかんないけど、俺に通じてるよ。でも、次のやつに行っちゃった。Alright, good guys. Sub, this is Radclaw. いいね。ありがとうございます。Check those guys out. Hopefully I'll get to join them on one of their trails one day. When the world goes back to, well, never go back to normal, but whatever it goes back to. Very polite request is what we're going back onto next. Very polite request was pretty easy. You'll remember it was te itadakemasen ka and te kuremasen ka and te kurenai. Those are the 3 levels of polite requests. Te kurenai is not necessarily a polite request. It's arguable. But those are what we covered 2 weeks ago. So our practice for today, we'll review with the first practice question from last time, which was ask me to do something using any of the politeness levels above. For example, 日本語を教えてくれない? Won't you teach me some Japanese? You can use any politeness level to ask me to do anything. If I'm capable of doing it right now live on stream, I will. To a limit. Obviously, there are limits on how far I will go on live stream. But let me know. ちょっとヒーターちょっと低くしてくれる? くれる?
はい。
let me use this. ちょっとヒーターを低くしてくれない? That was a literal request. ありがとうございます。消さなくていいよ。その1から5の設定が低くすれば、右側は必ず左に押して。The heaters here are powerful. A minor question, how would you say someone had me do? Someone had me do. 作ってもらったんじゃなくて、作ってなんとかさせたなのかな。
だとフォースだよ。
フォースだけど、誰かが俺をやって、俺はユキにヒーターを低くしてもらった。で、ユキの場合は何て言う？それを説明して。低くしてあげたけど、俺がやってもらったでしょ？
うん。もらったんでしょ？あげたから。
そうだね。This person's asking though, what about, how do I say that they got me to do it? させるんだよね。させるんじゃないんだよね。させるは無理やりっていう感じがするんだよね。無理やりじゃない。
Make someone to do something.
Got someone to do something の場合は
や
らせてわーInfo Abroad, thanks for the snack. Gaming Channel Snack Donation. ありがとうございます。はい、ギターを弾いてくれない？ギターを弾いてあげるよ。
ギターを弾いてくれないって出るの？
取ってくれれば弾くよ。
Gaming Channel Snack Donation. Thank you, Info Abroad.
ありがとうございます。Some people find it to be too strong a taste. I'm not suggesting you kill that boar though. Inoshishi is delicious. I've eaten it once before. I'll get back to your question in a minute, Michael. We're trying to figure out the answer for that. I'm not quite sure how to say it. 笑っていただけませんか? I don't know if you mean laugh or smile, but いいよ。やってくれる？取ってくれる？ I'm terrible at guitar, but I'll play a quick note or two. うつるってむぶぬんで I could play that. いいねを押していただけませんか? I can't hit Ine actually because I don't actually have the stream up. I just have the stream background, so I cannot hit Ine. Thank you so much, Infobroad. Appreciate that. お水を飲んでいただけませんか? Sure, why not? My throat's getting a little dry after all. ギターを弾いてくれない？いいよ。ちょっと弾くよ。Haha, okay, says Kyushu Trail. A minor question. おいしいそのイノシシだ。Snack money, woo woo! Or a quick hamburger. Hamburgers are a little bit more expensive than that here. We had buffalo chicken burgers last night. Those were about $8. Yeah, hamburgers are too expensive in Japan, man. But a snack, we will get a snack. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
冗談を教えてほしがってるよ。
冗談を教えてほしがってる。冗談ね。冗談は何だろう。冗談って。I don't know. I'm terrible at jokes. So, うつるってむぶるんで食いて Oh, wrong うつるってむぶるんで食いてI can't remember the rest of it. Anyway. Yes, I will play guitar for you. That was fun. I have to play guitar tomorrow, so it's good to get myself warmed up. I also got my first tips on stream. Keep the stream money floating. Nice. Congratulations, man. Was that over on Twitch, or are you streaming on YouTube? Although, have you hit 1,000 on YouTube? そのギターをチューニングをしてくれな。ダメ。時間がないです。私も弾けるといいな。弾けたらいいなかな。弾けるといいね。でもできないってこと。
私も弾けると といいなと思ったんですよ、今日。
あ、そっか。弾けるといいな。じゃあ合ってる。弾けるといいな。そうだね。Your B string is about a quarter step flat. You guys are specific. But yeah, I haven't tuned it. Thank you. Twitch. 運動の、授業を、動画の授業を作り続いていただけませんか？続きます。
続けていただけます。
続けて、続いてが書いてあるんだ。続けて。Close. 続けていただけませんか？ Apparently. 続けて。動画の授業。俺は授業作り続いてほしい。続けてほしいか。続けて。なんで、俺もわかんない、そこ。違いが。続ける versus 続く。To continue to keep up 続く。I know, I'm just trying to look up so I can explain in detail. To continue, to last, to go on. Tsuzuku is intransitive, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So tsuzuku is intransitive. Tsuzukeru is transitive. So for me to continue actively, you need to use a transitive verb, so that's tsuzukeru. That's the transitive verb. Tsuzuku is the intransitive verb. That's the difference. Sweet. I learned something now. Well, I probably learned that at some point in time in the past, but... 歌を練習していただけませんか？練習しなきゃいけないね。It's been a long time since I sang the Teiform song. Alright. Good. Alright, so the next one is, I'm your boss or professor. Me. Ask me for permission to do something. Anything. Ask me for permission. あ、間違ってる。休ませて。振り仮名。あ、本当だ。休ませていただけませんか？はい、ありがとう。I didn't have Yuki check these. 休ませていただけませんか？Wouldn't you allow me to have a day off, is what that means. 休ませていただけませんか？ So that's actually what you would ask your boss if you want a day off. 休ませていただけませんか？ It's a mouthful. But that's what you're going to be using if you want to ask for a day off. There's some other ways you could ask for it too, but that's probably the most polite and the best way, I'd say, to ask. 休ませていただけませんか？休ませてくれてありがとうございます。休ませていただいて。なんだっけ？いつもなんか朝の会で連絡会でこれが言ったんだ。休ませて。忙しいところお休みいただきあり。Okay, that's a little bit different. But 給料が増えていただけませんか？ So that's another situation where it's 増やして。So you want to change the particle to wo first. wo. 給料を上げていただけませんかでしょうか? Yeah, that's Yuki just mentioned as well. That's probably the most natural way of saying it. 給料を上げていただけませんでしょうか? So getting super polite with the extra でしょうか. We didn't go over that yet, but that's even a more polite way to ask it. If you want to use 増える, you'll want to say 給料を増やせていただけませんか? 増やす. So that's again the difference between the intransitive and transitive. So 増える it's intransitive. It just means to increase. It doesn't mean to actively increase. That's the difference there. So you'll want to say 増やす, which means to actively increase something. But when you're talking about 給料, your salary in general, generally you say 上げる or 下げる in relation to rising or lowering salaries. So 上げていただけませんか? And adding that でしょ makes it even more polite. 明日宿題を集めていただけませんか? いいね。I guess so. I guess I'll wait. Yeah. Sure. All right, good. That wasn't bad. You can keep going on with those ones. I'll pop up. Oh no, that was the last one for this section. Right. Sorry, it's been a while since I streamed, guys. It's been quite a while. I'm a little bit rusty. A little bit. But it's good to be back. Thank you guys for stopping by at this early time in the morning or late time at night, depending on where you are, to hang out. Appreciate it. I could use that right now. 先生、宿題を締め切り、宿題の締め切りを変更していただけませんか? What homework are you getting late on there, Michael? I would be happy to push back the date. 締め切りを変更してあげるよ。いいよ。What form is 休ませて? So yeah, I should have actually mentioned that. 休ませて is it's the what's the name of that? What's the name of that? It's let me. So it's gosh, I can't remember the name of the conjugation. But it's like please let me do something. 休ませて means 休ませる means what's the name of that conjugation? 覚えてる?
休ませる。
なんだっけそれ。やらせるとか。
そう。
なんだっけ? I can't remember the name of it. Does anyone else remember the name of that? The one where it's like, let me do something?
この前みたいに
Allow me to do something? What the hell is the name of that? I have it in my Godan notes. 許可, so, permission. But there's a name for that. I don't know what the name of the conjugation is off the top of my head, in English even. But yeah, it's permission. It's asking for permission. 休ませて. Please allow me to do something. 許可形かな? 許可形だっけ? Let me look it up. I have it in my notes for Godan conjugation video. I definitely have the Japanese. I don't know if I have the English at all. 時にアンリー Rewriting Godan Godan verbs ね、強化形だと思う。可能形、強化形は5段じゃないのか。
だってそれだとさ未然形になっちゃうよ。
未然形だよね。休まの、なるほどね。はいはい、未然形でせるをつけるんだね。そうだね。So you move up to the A column and add せる and that's causative. Causative? Be causative. Now I want to know. Causative. I think it can also be the causative, but I think what I'm looking at is a little bit different, no? Oh yeah, it can be the causative, but there's also another causative and this other one are conjugated in exactly the same way. I can't remember. わかる. Permissive かな.
わからん. Permissive はPermissive なんてあるの?
ない. I can't think of the name at all. Random derail found all the shrines in BOTW. おめでとう Nice. Passive はあるけどね。それちょっと違うんだね。Causative, yeah. Causative is also conjugated that way, I believe. I was neighbor able to. I'm at like 90 something. I might have hit 100. I definitely want to get it. One day I want to go back and get them all. I think passive and potential. Not potential. Potential is down to the sei column in Godan verb. So it would be 休むんだったら休める would be the potential. 休める 休ませる is let me take the day off. So whatever the name of the conjugation for let me do something is, that's what it is. But causative is also a thing where it might be causative. So させる休まさせ休ませる休ませるそうそう Can't remember. It doesn't matter. He says he understands. So I'm gonna have to now. That's gonna bother me, and I'm gonna have to look up the actual terms and stuff later. させるはやらせたって感じだね。そうけどせるやませるは allow. So it's conjugated the same way. It's very confusing actually because that one and the one where someone forces you to do something are almost like identical, and I can never remember the exact difference between the one where it's having someone force you to do something and where someone's letting you do something. Those two are actually really confusing, and they're still really confusing for me. So I'm going to have to solidify my understanding of that one as well. But anyway, that one, yasumaseru, is saying let me. Please let me take the day off. All right, and yeah, to do it, you just move up to the a column of whatever the verb is. So for example, is if it was, what's another Godan verb? Yeah, it might be called the causative. It is possible. You'd move up to the a column. So for aruku, aruka. So you go up to aruka, seru, and then you add seru. And that would be let me walk. Arukasete would be please let me walk. Arukasete kudasai. Arukasete kudasai would be please let me walk. Ne? Something like that. Aiko, Music Forever, first live. This is really amazing. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, this is a little bit different than the full lessons. This is the practice stream. So, for example, over here we have expressing hopes and wishes. This is from lesson 16. I just sort of run. I don't cover all this. We already covered this 2 weeks ago. So I pop down to the bottom of the slides, and then we do practice based on this slide. So this section was expressing hopes, which was was short form of whatever it is, whether it's a verb or an adjective, plus to ii desu ne. あ、休ませるは終わった。もう結構前かな。その練習の部分ね。といいですね or といいね. And then I hope for myself, you use といいんですが or といいんだけど, which is a little less polite. These two, the second ones are a little less polite for each one. So that's what we're going to be using in the practice. Down here, we're going to review the same one that we had last time. Oops, I don't need my mouse that fast. What is something good that you hope happens for yourself soon? So for me, it's 雪がたくさん降るといいんだけど, I hope that a lot of snow falls. That's not completely true, though. I kind of hope that in the mountains, lots of snow falls so that I can go snowboarding. But I think it's going to snow a lot tomorrow here, despite having to drive to work. I'm not looking forward to that. But it's going to snow like crazy all week. 僕のさっきの質問のことですが, yes, right. Sorry, Michael. Let me go back to your question. Let me see if I can get my mouse over here first. I never got back to Michael's question. Right. Someone had me do. We never answered that question. That one's a hard one too. 俺はユキをお茶を取ってもらったとか作ってもらった。で、ユキはそのユキの目線からどうやって言う作ってあげたってわかるけど、誰かにアンディはこれをやらされてる。やらされてるか。でも無理やりじゃないんじゃん。forced ではない。forced じゃない。forced は強すぎ。だって作ってもらったって forced じゃないんじゃん。俺は強すぎだね。ねえねえ作ってくれないとかって言ったら、で誰かに誰作ってくれたので僕はユキに作ってもらったって言った場合、ユキに頼んだでしょ、そんな意味が含めてあるので、ユキの目線からどうやってアンディに頼まれたってどうやって伝えるアンディに頼まれたって使えるんだけどYou could use that sentence. アンディに頼まれた。アンディに頼まれた。頼まれるだとね。passive. Passive is what you use, wouldn't it be? You could use the passive. Good. じゃあ作るんだった。頼まれた。作られた
何超丁寧にいくとアンディから依頼をいただいたので作らさせてもらったんだよ。
作らさせて。
でもそれはね尊敬の。
いやそこまでいらない。普通に言うんだよ。なんかアンディ got me to make this。
アンディに頼まれたんだよね。
I think you use the verb 頼む Yeah, I think that's what you'd actually say. I was requested to do this by someone. Tanomu makes the most sense, I think. Obviously it's gonna depend on the actual situation. But yeah, when I just use that as an example, I was like, actually that's probably the way to do it. Would be 頼まれた。これを頼まれた。Yuki に頼まれた。Yuki got me to do it or asked me to do it. Yuki が僕にそう。Yuki が僕に頼まれたんだね。そう。Right. So Yuki asked me to do it is what that would come out as. Yuki requested that I do it. So お茶を作るのに
作ってもらう作る
ことを頼まれた。Ah, there you go. Right. So you would have the verb 作ることを頼まれた。
でもそれはユキがだからね。サブジェクトが
ね。
僕アンディの場合は頼んだんだよ。
俺は頼んだね。
そう
ユキが話してる。
そうユキは
アンディに頼まれたでしょ。ユキがだから俺が誰にユキが他の人と話している場合、アンディに頼まれた。
そうアンディに頼まれた。
ね。So Yuki's talking now. アンディにお茶を作ることアンディにお茶を作ること
まあお茶を作るように
頼まれた。You could use ように but we haven't gotten to that yet. アンディにお茶を作るでも you don't need Andy so you could just say お茶を作ることを頼まれた。Yeah, that's fine. お茶を作ることを頼まれた would also work. Wow, that was complicated. Whew. Thanks for the tough question, Michael. That was fun. I'm glad we finally got to the bottom of it. Oh, new setup looking good, says Menkong. Thank you.
Menkong?
Feels good. There's still more work to do in here. So, yeah. 頼むは出たかなLet's see if Tanomu has showed up yet. If Tanomu hasn't showed up yet, you should probably learn it because it's a very, very common word as Yuki was just pointing out. Tanomu. Tanomu doesn't show up to lesson 18. It shows up in lesson 18, so in 2 lessons. But it's worth throwing it in your deck or something. Here's all my Genki books. Popping out the big books. Nope. The big books are over here. Oh, Yuki showed up. These are what I'm going to be reviewing next, trying to figure out what we're going to be studying next. I'll tell you right now, it's not this one. This one is not what we're going to be doing next. There's a very high probability that it's going to be this one. This one might be the better book, but this one mostly covers N2 material, which is a little bit of a jump from Genki 2. Whereas this one is meant to cover Genki 3 material. I don't love it, but it's not bad. Some of the there's a lot of reading material, and it's more interesting than I was expecting. But anyway, I'll do a full review on those soon. Bit of a sidetrack. That was way complicated than I expected. Yeah, it's not necessarily something you'd say very often. So someone had me do this. You would just say that I did it for someone. But yeah, a little bit complicated. Sorry. Hope it made sense though when we finally got it out. 日本で就職するできるといいんだけど So you want to use 可能形 there ね。できる形。就職をできるといいんだけど。ね。就職。Need that extra メインディッシュ主食ってコメンディッシュじゃなかったっけ主食はメイン。
ご飯のこと
そう。
じゃあご飯。そう。
そうそうそうそうそう。だからアメリカの主食はパンだよね。Yeah. So 主食 is this. It's common main dish. So like in Japan, common main dish is rice. Rice is 主食. For America, it's something like cereal for breakfast or bread. 主食. So 主食ね。はい。思ったより難しくてもわかりやすいんですよ。よかった。Yuki the entertainer. Indeed. All right. Good job, guys. So our next question is using answers from the last questions, using other people's answers from the last questions, wish some good things upon the other participants in chat. So for example, Radclaw says, 日本で就職をできるといいんだけど, please wish him, hope for him to have that happen to him. For example, I'll do it first. 日本で就職をできるといいですね. Something like that, right? So you'll remember that when you wish for good things on other people, you're going to use といいですね. といいね or といいですね. So that's what I want you to do using what other people said. There wasn't too many things, but if anyone else wants to pop up an answer from before, maybe you can use that. I think Dan said something. Oh, I didn't see this one. 動物の動画をたくさん作るといいんだけどな。いいね。See antonym. I didn't see the other one. Sorry. 多額お金が来るといいんだけど、多額のお金が来るといいんだけど. So that と is very important. I'm sitting too close. I'm off camera here. The と particle there is being used. It hasn't been taught yet because Genki likes to do this. They give you some kind of grammar that uses a grammar point and then they teach the grammar point later. It means if. It's the if と. So what it literally means is it would be good if this thing happened. Right? Or if you could do this thing. So that's why you need to use could do for things like iku. Because, well, you can go, but you hope you can go. It would be good if you could go. So, 行けるといいんだけど. It would be good if I could go. Oh, thank you. Yuki actually did make tea. 頼んでないけど作ってくれました。優しいですね。優しい優しいってとっても優しい。今日は何でしょうか。なんだっけこれ。カモミール？うん、そう。Well, there goes my tongue. Woo! That was stupid of me. Wow, that was hot. Oh, I won't be able to taste anything for about a month. いや自分のせいだそれ。優しい says the antonym. ほ。優しい。Alright, good. 多額のお金が来るといいんだけど. So yeah, so what I was getting at there is that the to particle is very important. It's not something you can drop there because if you do, it loses the whole meaning of it would be good if this happened. So you have to have the to particle there. 多額のお金が来るといいんだけど。舌を焼けた。うん。はい。やけどしたね。やけどした。I don't know why we don't say 焼けた。For some reason we say やけど。やけどした。漢字がないのか。あ、やけど。はい。やけどした。やけどする。For some reason that's what we use when we burn stuff like that. I don't know why. Neither does she. 焼けた. You would think it would be 焼けた, right? But for some reason it's not. It's やけどした.
小さい規模のバーニングみたいな。小さい規模だ。全部が焼け。
Oh, my whole body? 確かに。どうは漢字ある？焼けた sounds like you cooked your tongue. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. It sounds like I took out my tongue, I put it in a pan, and I cooked it. That's Kyushu Trail got it right there. Nail on the head. いいね。Nekoshita? No, this is like 90 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's not nekoshita. I think if I just put a little bit of fire under it, it would boil again.
あ、やけどってこうだよ。やけ
Oh, there's a kanji?
うん。
Yakedo. It didn't come out. It didn't pop up on mine.
火傷って。
Moeru? To burn? No, you can't use moeru. That means that's actively burning some other thing. With a fire, not like with just something hot. Moeru means to burn.
あ、そうそう。
Oh, that's the kanji for it. Oh, okay.
だから火の。
これなんだ。
うん。
That did pop up. Ah, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. I've never actually looked up the kanji for this one. なるほどね。やけどした。それは変な読み方なのかな。
そう、変な
読み方だよね。
うん。
Yeah, okay. That's why I didn't know it. It's a very unusual reading for that. やけどする。
もなかみたいな。
もなか。って読めるんだよね。
そうそう、当て字みたいな感じだよね。
読もかものかもなかもなかだねってもなかってもなかもなかっていう名前はそれで書けるのかなやけど
あと、あずきとかもそう、ね。
あずき
こまめって書いてあずき。
あーねねねあとあれだこの前高校で使ったやつザクロとか栗じゃなくてザクロともう一つ使ったんだね。
あ、私何出してあげます。
くるみ。
あ、そうだね。でもそれ
くるみ
植物の名前は
ちょっと変だね。
まあちょっと
そうだね。Sorry, got sidetracked there. 全地と
全部高級
全地といいね。Ah, my tongue. ありがとうございます。It's already starting to feel better. ありがとう。It feels a little better already. Got some cool air on it. 日本に帰るといいんだけど、so that's one of those situations where you need to change it to the what the heck's it called? The potential. So, 帰る is something that you can actively do. To use this, it needs to be for transitive verbs. Transitive verbs cannot be used with といいんですけど or といいね. You need to change transitive verbs like 帰る to the potential. So the potential of 帰る is 帰れる。帰れる。といいんだけど。帰れるといいんだけど It would be good if I could go home. I hope that I can go home, that I'm able to go home. So that's a very important thing when using this situation. It's not hoping that you will do a thing. It's hoping that you're able to do something. When you're hoping things for something else, you're hoping that something happens to them, not that they do something specifically. Like, yeah, you hope that something happens to you. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit of a weird point with it, but just something to be aware of. Transitive verbs, change them to the potential. Generally speaking. なんか、例えばなんですけど、今夜はユキがお茶を作るといいんだけどって言える作ってくれるといいんだけどは言うんだね。Yeah, so yeah, even in that situation, I was trying to see if I could say something like, I hope that Yuki makes tea tonight, but you wouldn't. You would actually have to use てくれる there to make it. I hope that she is kind enough to make me tea tonight, so you need to use てくれる。Yuki は今夜お茶を作ってくれるといいんだけど So you're still getting some kind of That's how I feel like it would be translated. Will make tea for me. くれる てくれる sort of has that feeling of and it's nice of them to do it. Didn't I? They did it for me and it was very nice of them. They were kind enough to take me and do something とか。
まあそう、英語だとそうなんだけど、
そう。
なんかダイレクトトランスレーションしちゃうと、なんか私が十分
まあそうまあそうだね。
お茶作ってくれる
そうそうそう。そんな意味ではないけどね。そんな意味ではないけど。Yeah. Alright. Good. That was good, guys. Oh yeah, we already did that. Okay. So our next section is describing when something happens, which was with toki. We went over various usages of toki, which were basically when an event plus toki plus the main event. For example, with verbs, you use the present or the past. Only the present or the past, with each, whether or not it's the present or the past, changing the meaning quite significantly to the statement, then plus toki and the main event. Adjectives are used on their own or in the past tense. Non-adjectives are used on their own or with datta. And nouns are used on their own with the no particle and toki. Non-adjectives like na. For example, ikutoki. This was the pizza poem. I actually made a clip of this and uploaded it. I hope you enjoyed that poem. 行くときピザを食べます。行くときピザを食べました。悲しいときピザを食べます。元気なときピザを食べます。病気のときピザを食べます。行ったときピザを食べます。行ったときピザを食べました。悲しかったときピザを食べました。元気だったときピザを食べました。病気だったときピザを食べました。ピザを食べているとき、幸せだ。今日はとっても久しぶりに、超久しぶりにピザを食べました。I actually 太ってますよ says Michael. おいこらこらほんと今日超久しぶりにピザを食べました。Today we ate pizza for the first time in a very, very long time. They actually had super cheap pizza at the nearby grocery store. And we bought some and had some pizza tonight. It was good. 熱いお茶を飲むときに気をつけた方がいいです。確かに。Alright, so the practice for tonight, we're gonna use the review one from last week. What is something you do when you're sad? 悲しいとき、ピザを食べます。It's Red Claw. Love it. Alright. 太ってないよ. Yuki and I have been going to the gym a lot recently. I've been training her. 何 evil って。明日コストコでピザを食べる。いいね。暑い。evil? 英語で書きたい？ EVIL。そうそうそう。かけたって。熱いお茶を出すときは黙っていった方がいいです。おいこら。All right. Oh, by the way, one other exciting announcement. It's not really an announcement, but just something that I'm looking forward to is I've been talking to the guys over at Satori Reader. Well, the guy over at Satori Reader. And in the new year, probably between Genki 2 and whatever our next textbook is, I'm going to do some live stream lessons based on readings from Satori readers. That was my idea. I thought it would be really fun to actually take some readings and read them together and then go through the grammar in each of those readings and the new words and stuff and go through it together and use those as lesson material. So that is actually something that's probably going to happen in the new year, and I'm really excited about that. So hope you guys enjoy it when that comes out and that it's maybe helpful. 悲しいとき、趣味をします。なるほどね。趣味をします。いいですね。It's a good idea. Cool idea actually says info abroad. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think it could be useful. I think it could be a good way to transition into a new book. Because I feel like there still is a little bit of space missing between Genki 2 and Costco. Gotta go. Thanks, Andy. Night, people. Have fun at Costco tomorrow, Kyushu Trail. Thanks for stopping by. おやすみなさい。いいな。マロンアイスクリームが今流行ってる。マロンアイスクリーム今流行ってるんだって。雪によるとコストコで買ってください。マロンアイス、日本語を勉強し終わるかな。し終わるとき。日本語の勉強を終わるときでもいいかな。プレイステーションをします。 Mm. Mm. You'll probably have better luck with that sentence in lesson 17, where we're going to learn tara. So, 勉強終わったら PlayStation をします is probably going to be your best bet. So, if.
てから
Or te kara. We're going to be covering that next week too.
あ、そうなんだ
Either one works. So, 終わってから.
後に
Oh, we didn't cover ato ni in the next lesson, did we? We did mai ni and te kara. So in the next lesson, two things you could use to express that idea really well are te kara and, or just tara. If I finish studying, I play PlayStation. So, 日本語の勉強を終わったら PlayStation をします. So if I finish studying Japanese, I'll play PlayStation. Or you could say 日本語の勉強を終わってからPlayStation をします, which means after I finish studying Japanese, I will play PlayStation. So that there's a sequence of events there. But we're covering that in lesson 17. You could say 日本語を勉強し終わる時し終わる? It's a little weird. I feel like it would be understood, but I don't know that anyone would ever say it. 勉強し終わった時。
勉強した後だよね。
うん。時はどうしても使えないのかな? Okay, so here's what I think the confusion is. So the toki here is not really being used as a way to sequence events. That's not what it's being used for. What it's being used to explain is when the next thing happens. So like PlayStation no shimasu is not going to be what you did after this. It's going to be what you did when this was happening. 勉強日本語の勉強の直後ゲームをしますと言ったらいいんですね。それでもいいね。直後 It's a little stiff, but yeah, it works. ゲームをしますと言ったらいいんですか?
何々の時ってちょっとね。
うん。
そのさ、while
もう多分いなかったあれ先週だからそこそう、うん、でもそれはやってないんだよ。そこでもやってないんですよ。やっているはちょっと言った。So let's just go back and look at this a little bit really quickly. So one thing that I covered last week in just one sentence, because it's not actually in the Genki lesson, is ている時. So while I'm doing something, it actually is in Genki. This is in Genki. So while I was eating pizza, I'm happy. So you can use ている to express that at the time of this long ongoing event, this thing happened. Or if you use the past tense, 行った時, so it's after I'd already gone, pizzaを食べました. So when I went and was already there, I ate pizza. But this doesn't necessarily mean that like I went and then I ate pizza. It's using that 行った時 as sort of a reference point in time for when I ate the pizza. I went and I was already there. You know that time that I went there. だから中国に行った時 that time I went to China, pizza を食べました. I ate pizza. So that one time I went to China, I ate pizza. It's not using it as a sequence of events like I went to China and then I ate pizza. So it doesn't have that meaning. It's more of a reference point for when a certain event happened, where the main event is the second sentence. If you use present tense, 行く時ピザを食べます. When I go, I eat. So that's the point in time that I eat pizza is when I go. So that's when it's done. 行く時ピザを食べました. When I was going, I ate pizza. So this, remember here, event A is now. So 行く時ピザを食べます. Or it's in the future. So 行く時ピザを食べました. Yeah.
まあでも超直前。
そう。行く時ピザを食べました. So. When I was going, it just happened like as soon as I went. No, but pizza is at the same time, kana? So yeah, I went and I ate pizza. Not sequential necessarily. If it's a past tense, event A is in the past of this. So like that's just showing you when the time is. So I went to Japan. So that's this point in time right here. And then sometime after that, while I was still there, because otherwise why would I use it as a reference, I ate pizza. Right? So 日本に行った時、ピザを食べました。I'm just using that as a point of reference for when it was that I ate pizza. It's not necessarily related to it in any other way than that's where I did it, or that's when I did it. It's not used to do sequences of events. And then here it's 行く時, I will eat pizza when I go. So this time I'm not there yet. I will go in the future. And then I'll eat pizza. In this case, I ate pizza, and it's when I go, or when I was going. 行く時ピザを食べました. So I was on my way. This is like I was on my way. So it's happening at the same time. These things can also be habitual. Yeah, or just before I left. Yeah, just before I ate pizza. So I'm about to go, and I ate pizza. It's gonna be. You should look at the graphs in Genki for lesson 16. The graphs, the timelines there are actually quite nice. I should have written one out here. But yeah, it's not quite used for sequencing events. I probably said that too many times. I imagine you got it by now. All right. 何時に何時違います。違いがありますか？時にと時 on its own. 日本に行った時に食べる時に
食べると
versus 食べる時なんとかを食べます。食べる時にピザ、食べる時に手を洗おう。食べる時手を洗おう。食べる時に is more like when you're giving instructions. When you do this thing, also do this other thing. That's when ni is going to be used. Toki is just a time reference for whatever comes after it. Whatever comes in the next part of the sentence. So here, 悲しい時、ピザを食べます。This is the point in time for when this is the main thing. This is the most important thing. The second sentence, ピザを食べます. That's the most important thing. This is just when I do it. 悲しい時、ピザを食べます。悲しい時に悲しい時にじゃあ then it's the same.
悲しい時にだけ私はキングズ・オブ・レオン。
確かに。
ほら。
でも悲しい時キングズ・オブ・リオンを聞きますと悲しい時にキングズ・オブ・リオンを聞きますっての違いは
スペシフィックじゃない2の方がもっとリミテッド。
だけ。
だってそれ以外。
でも悲しい時と悲しい時に本当にそんなに違うかなその場合。
まあそんなには違わないけど超大きく違うのはアクションがあるかどうかで聞いてるのがアクションだ。食べる時に箸で食べますとか、次に来るアクション
I've confused myself. 悲しい時、猫を撫でる。いいですね。That's a good one, Radclaw.
だってさ、悲しい時に
撫でられる猫様がいていいな。いいね。
見て。だってはいはい。悲しい時に猫を撫でるだと、悲しい時以外は猫を撫でてないよ。
はい。
わかる？そのさ、
なるほどね。
学校ではみたいな
その次のイベントはその時しか
だからそこが
やらないんだよ。ってことは悲しい時キングズ・オブ・リアンを聞いてるって他の時も聞いてるかもしれないけど悲しい時も聞いてるってことだけど悲しい時にキングズ・オブ・リアン聞くんだったら悲しい時だけ聞いてるってことか。なるほどね。There's a nuance with ni that we're going over here. That basically, the ni sort of limits the action that comes after it. So if you, for example, well, you probably just heard the sentence, 悲しい時、Kings of Leon を聞きます。This is Yuki. When I'm sad, I listen to Kings of Leon. Without the ni, she listens to Kings of Leon at other times too. But if you drop that ni in there, 悲しい時に Kings of Leon を聞きます。What that implies, what the nuance is there, is that you only listen to Kings of Leon when you're sad. You don't listen to them any other time, just when you're sad. So that ni sort of limits the scope of the main event to just that time, just that point in time. So 食べるときに箸を使います. You're not using hashi at other times. You're just using it when you eat. Hashi, by the way, is chopsticks. So if you said 食べるとき箸を使います, you may be using them at other times too. It has less of that nuance. So when you want to limit the scope of the main event, you can use ni. Okay, woo, we got that one down. Sweet. Thanks for the explanation, Yuki. That makes sense. I went to Costco today. Subarashi. You're the one that came up with the sentence. 悲しいとき、面白い動画を見る, says C. antonym. Good. That's a good sentence. All right. So just to use that sentence as another example, 悲しいときに面白い動画を見るんだったら, if that was what he said, if that's what they said, then it would mean that they don't watch funny or interesting videos at any other time. Okay. Listening to this combo like popcorn eyes. いっぱい質問を聞いてすみませんです。No need to apologize. The whole purpose of this, I love that emoji coming out from behind the bricks. That's so cool. I've never seen that one. I kind of want to copy it so I can use it someday. Let's go save that somewhere. Remember that these practice live streams used to be question and answer live streams, but then people really enjoyed the question and the practice section, so I decided to make that the main portion. But you're still plenty welcome to use to ask questions in this live stream. I'm perfectly happy to answer any questions you might have. Ohayo gozaimasu. Andrew Marsh. Ohayo Ando-san. Ohayo. Tokini as in Tokini Andy. So that is one way you could read my name, Tokini Andy. The way that I use it was, I think I've told this story a few times, but there's actually a local Nagano, in the local Nagano dialect, it's like, what would you call it? It's sort of slang that means the exact same thing as, I don't know if you know the word, toriaizu, which means for starters. So I decided I wanted something. Originally, this channel was going to be a vlog about living in Nagano. That was the plan for it. I was going to be vlogging about Nagano and promoting stuff in Nagano because I loved Nagano at the time. I still love Nagano, but I wanted to show people Nagano. When I realized I wasn't very good at vlogging and I was actually enjoying teaching Japanese a lot more, it changed. But anyway, at the time, I wanted to use some kind of name that referenced Nagano in some way. So I decided to use a dialect. Yuki helped me find this. We went over some like dialect thing. The only dialect stuff I knew from Nagano was nakara, which is like it means the same thing as daitai, which is like about 10, for example, nakara. And some other stuff. So anyway, tokini means toriaizu, or for starters. In any other any other place in Japan, tokini, it actually has a different pronunciation as well. Tokini is, so you go up on the ki, is the Nagano one, and tokini, so I think you start high and go low. Tokini, which is another way you could read it, means sometimes. So it's like a double meaning. Sometimes hanging out with Andy, Tokini Andy. And for starters, Andy, because I couldn't come up with a name for the channel. So for starters, just my name, Tokini Andy. So that's what it was. Vlogs would be nice. I will be making a vlog channel because I actually went back. My very first video ever, it was terrible, but it was a vlog and it was really fun to watch it again for me. So I think I'm going to make some vlogs in the future on a different channel, even just for myself. I don't care if people watch them. It was just really cool to be able to go back and see a log of something I did 2 years ago. It was really cool. So I might add vlogs to my my next channel, Tokini at Home, which will be like apartment tours and house tours and stuff I'm doing around the house and vlogs. Could be fun. All right, but if I can find time, come to Japan, check Discord. All right, that was fun. It's nice to solve some problems like this. Potato. Potato. Yeah, that was potato. Good to see you. Sashiburi. Portato. I always say portato, but portado. Actually, no, I always say portado. This is actually probably the first time I ever said portato. All right. Good to see you. Ohayou gozaimasu. What is something you have a fond memory of from high school or before? That is the next question. What is something that you have a fond memory of from high school or before? So, for example, 高校生の時、スケートボードを頑張りました。When I was a high school student, I worked very hard on my skateboarding skills. スケボーを頑張りました。超頑張った。I skateboarded at all my free time. That's all I did in high school, I feel like. But it was fun. The sad thing was I was the only skateboarder in my entire school, so that was kind of lonely. So what is something you have a fond memory of from high school or before? It doesn't have to be high school. If you want to do something more recent, that's fine as well. Anything you can think of that you have a fond memory of. I would tell you, but I'd need the collective approval of the 6 people involved. Will they ever see this live stream? It's an important question. But fair enough. You could now try and make that sentence you just made there in Japanese. 僕もスケボーした said, come to Japan. Nice. I'll have to grab a skateboard when I head down there one day. You know what? We should just get some one wheels, man. Let's get a one wheel. And ride around Fukuoka on one wheels. Or trail ride. We could trail ride on one wheels and drop off your cameras. That'd be fun. 子供の時、木に登った。いいですね、wanna it. I also feel like I spent a lot of time in the forest when I was a kid. 高校生の時、友達と遊びました。いいですね、シーアンタニム。いいね。素晴らしい。If you tell it Japanese, how would they ever know? Exactly. Oh, good point. Unless I accidentally translate. I do have a unicycle. Ooh. 高校生の時、アメリカにホームステイに行きました。いいですね。カリフォルニア州にね。おじさんに襲わったり。襲われたね。襲われたり。変な人ばっかりだったね。Random hug. Yuki was randomly hugged by many people when she went to California as a high schooler for some reason. I don't know if random hugs in California are a thing. It was super scary, she said. Just random people would come up and hug her. Oh yes, I really want a one wheel. So bad. They're so cool. No, they don't. Well, so I've skateboarded all my life and I've snowboarded most of my life. So I feel like they won't be that hard. I'm sure I'll get some injuries, but totally worth it. I've been following some of your Anki advice in creating Japanese vocab flashcards with an example sentence for each grammar point in that chapter when possible. Have you been finding it useful, Andrew? That's one thing that I'm going to be mentioning in the quartet reviews is so one really cool thing about the new quartet, let's bring up the full screen, is that what happens is the vocab is not in each chapter. It's actually in a separate little book in the back. And each vocabulary word that you're expected to learn has an example sentence. Every single one has an example sentence attached to it. So you can literally just take it has all the words that they think you might not know in the readings, all of them. And then there's a list of the words from that reading that are actually the vocab words for the section. And every single one has an example sentence. I thought that was really, really cool. Really neat. So you can just copy those right into an Anki deck and you're good to go. So that's another reason I'm leaning towards quartet. So I thought that was really cool. Oops. Okay. Yes, the background is... Oh. I like your new background. It looks fresh. Thank you. Yes, we moved. So that gave us a chance to finally do something with the background. It's not done yet. There's still more to do. As you saw on the full screen, we've got to wallpaper some other stuff as well, and I've got to mess with the lighting. But anyway, thank you. I'm glad you guys think so. Cool. I would hate people just randomly hugging me. Yeah, it would be weird. Quite weird. Yes, the background is great, and I like the navy tile. I feel it fits the brand a bit. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not sure how this chair fits the brand, but 高校生の時 コロナウイルスがありませんでした。ありませんでした。確かに、それは良かったね。でも、その時は、アメリカはそういう文化だと思っていた。6人が入っといたら教えます。あ、いいね。じゃあ、bring them along. Bring them along. 6人が入っといたら、入ってきたらかな。入ってきたら、教えてくださいね。中学生の3年生の時、僕に恋に落ちた女の子がいた。いいね。I've never heard that way of saying it. Sounds good. 恋に落ちた女の子がいた。恋に落ちた。fell in love with someone ね。いいですね。Well, my reading speed and speaking speed still sucks, so it at least gives me a good digestible chunk of reading each day. Yes, that's even just that alone made it well worth it. Like you didn't have time to read any books, but you had time to do your Anki deck. Well, you still got reading practice, as long as you actually read the sentences. If you skip the sentences because you know what they are, then it's not so great practice maybe. But Cobalt is still blue. Can see about dyeing the leather full leather. Well, that's true. Could change it to that color in the background. I was just gonna get a black one, but I may end up getting a different chair anyway because although I'm getting kind of used to it. It's not so bad. I want to get a standing desk, so then it won't matter. Then there will be no chair. Just because I'm sitting way too much. It's not healthy. はい。はい。6人が集まってきてなかった、集まってこないと、高校生の時楽しかったことを教えてくれない。で、それは、7人と何かしたらしい。で、全員から教科が出ないと教えられないって。教えることができないって。そうそうそう。It was a good attempt. So I told her then I told Bara to translate that English sentence into Japanese, and that was the attempt. And it was very close. Very good. 入ってきたら is what you want to say there. 入ってきたら教えます。Very close. 入ってきたら。そう。入っといたらはじゃなくて、入ってきたら。残念ながら、今はそんなことがなくなってしまいました。悲しいね。かわいそうに。My job giver gave them to everyone, and they are amazing. I want one that goes up and down, so I can sit sometimes and I can stand when I want to. And I'd prefer to film standing. I go like a Dave 2D ね。なんだっけ？なんだって？
その残念ながら今はそんなこと
悲しいね。
だけど
コーヒー必要さ。必要さ。ね、飲んでくださいね。Make lots of coffee. 行かなきゃ、アンディとユキ。ありがとう。またね。See you, アンタニム。バイバイ。ありがとうございました。またね。I agree, filming while standing is so much better. Moving that body is important. Yeah, it's nice. Like I said, we've been going to the gym a lot lately, which has been helping. But I'd still prefer to be able to stand more. By the way, what's the difference between 連日 and 毎日? Well, for starters, 毎日 is definitely more common than 連日 in conversation. 連日 day after day. 連日ね。
連日
同じことが続けざまに繰り返される日々。毎日。According to the Japanese dictionary, 連日 means 毎日. So it's not just every day, it's every day. Oh, yeah. 連日働いてたね. So Yuki worked for 30 days straight. So she didn't just work every day. She worked day after day after day. So think of it, yeah, that's what it is. Think of it like day after day versus every day. Like day after day is way more dramatic than just every day. 同じことが続けざまに繰り返される日々。毎日。That's the Japanese definition of, I'll pop it up on screen for you. Or, you know what, I'll just copy it. There's the Japanese definition right there. Yomi-chan is so wonderful, it even works in chat. 毎日. In our school system, we actually have 6 elementary, 4 high school, and 2 senior high school. So I was year 9 that time, and it was 2 years ago. You're quite young, Michael.
じゃあ全然まだまだチャンスあるじゃないですか。
Yuki said you still have plenty of chances. So I just changed it to 3rd year middle in Japanese. なるほどね。いいですね。I've also gotten a couple of digital art programs recently and have contemplated using it to try practice writing kanji. Thoughts? I've also gotten a couple of digital art programs recently and have contemplated using it to try practice writing kanji. Absolutely. Yeah, why not? If you enjoy it, you could use it to mess around and, you know, you could add like the stroke numbers and stuff if you'd like to. No reason that couldn't be fun. It could be a good way to practice, practice your art programs and kanji, 2 birds, 1 stone, right? 一石二鳥だよね。一石二鳥. Did you know that 2 birds, 1 stone is actually a saying in Japanese too? 一石, but it's different order. 一石二鳥. 1 stone, 2 birds. 一石二鳥. Huh? Ambitious. I have to actually write it. Ambitious. Ambitious. かな? A-M-B-I-T-I-O-U-S. 若者ですよ, says Michael. いいね.
はい、若者。
若者. Oh, by the way, I remember you saying that you had the how to type in Japanese video scripted. Is there any update on that? No. There's no update. I still have it scripted. I have it scripted. I just have to record it and all the B-roll. The main reason that got stopped in its tracks was because, well, of the move. Everything got stopped in its tracks. Way behind. Way behind. But hopefully, I think the next video has to be the review of the 3 intermediate books, because people are starting to ask a lot about those, which one I'm going to be picking, because a lot of people would like to buy them or get their next book for Christmas. So I need to try and get that video out by next week, probably. And then hopefully the typing one can be after that. Hopefully not too far off. Sorry for the delay on that. I know that's been a big request. Birds and rocks are just an international thing, I guess. I guess people just like throwing rocks at birds, I think. It's very therapeutic, apparently. Kotowaza. Be ambitious. Wakamono. I think Dan has a video on Isseki Nicho. I'm pretty sure he did kotowaza or those kinds of proverbs videos for a while. He was doing those daily for a while. So check out Come to Japan's video on Isseki Nicho. Be ambitious. Wakamono yo. 大志をだけ抱け。大志を抱け。Embrace your ambition. ってことか。Appreciate all the lessons, Andy Sensei. ありがとう、Dean. Appreciate the comment. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to hear that you're finding them useful. You're welcome, Potato. Sorry for the delay on that. こんばんは。お久しぶりです。久しぶり, Chris. Good to see ya. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. All right, guys. That was fun talking about our past a little bit. That brings us to apologizing for specific actions. This was a fun one to apologize for. Remember, it's the te form plus sumimasen deshita. 1 level down. Te gomen nasai. Te gomen. So those are the 3 levels of politeness. I think Genki only covers the 1st and the 3rd, but I wanted to put the sort of step in between that they skipped. Gomen is just a shortened version of gomen nasai. Well, I guess gomen nasai is a lengthened version of gomen because it's with nasai added to it. So the practice, we'll do the same ones from last week, and I added 1 or 2 new practice sections to this. Please apologize for doing this. How dare you? How dare you do this to my new house? Apologize immediately. How dare me, says Yuki. Any advice to catch up with this channel? Currently doing lesson 12, Genki 1. Hehe. It's a good question. Actually learning all the material and getting caught up would probably take a lot of work, a lot of time. Your best bet is probably you could join the streams and like do the lessons in tandem. Like the thing about Genki 2 is that it builds a lot on Genki 1, but not necessarily the previous lessons, is what the feeling I'm getting. So, for example, it builds a lot on the te form, Genki 2. So you could, for example, participate in lesson 17 in the live stream and in the practices while still studying lesson 13. And I don't think you'd be that disadvantaged. So if you didn't have a problem with sort of splitting your time between your current lesson 13 and the lesson that we're actually on now, that would actually naturally get you caught up. So basically you'd be doing lesson 13 and lesson 17. And then you'd keep up with us to lesson 18. Maybe you'd be on 14 then, 15, 19, 16, 20, and then you'd be caught up. If you really, really want to participate in the live streams live, that's probably going to be your best bet because there's not that many left in Genki. I mean, we will be moving on to the intermediate textbook, so you'd catch up to us by then because there will probably be a few weeks in between the end of Genki 2 and the intermediate textbook where I'll probably do the Satori Reader lessons. But we'll see. Video explaining Icho Niseki. Ine! Yeah, I need to catch up as well. I've not started lesson 13. Oh! But you've been hanging out anyway. Yeah, it's fine. 窓を壊して本当にすみませんでした says on it. Good. You remember the 本当に excellent. Good job. でももう仕事の体験が待っていますし、芸術は難しいし、学校を辞めたいんです says Michael. Oh no! 辞めないでよ辞めないで頑張ってください。マイケルならできるよ。マイケルならできます。
学校辞めちゃダメなの？
まあ辞めてもいいけど。いや辞めちゃダメでしょ。頑張って。
あ、そうなんだ。厳しいね。
Go as fast as you are comfortable with. Going fast doesn't help anyone. Exactly. Yeah, don't go faster than you're comfortable with. I would just take your time. I did week by week when I was catching up, but Andy was only on lesson 6, so it wasn't super big catch up, but you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Agreed. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's the biggest advice. A lot of people get overwhelmed and then they quit, and that is definitely not what you want to happen. I'm not even here at this level yet. Feels like I'm watching spoilers right now, but I just wanted to see you actually live. Minx, thanks for stopping by. Sorry for the delay on the response. Thanks for stopping by, yeah. I hope you enjoy my first live stream in this new studio. 窓を壊してね。壊れてしまいまして。すみませんでした。壊して。So you want to use the transitive verb, which is 壊す。壊れる、I believe is it passive?
謝らなきゃいけない。
そうそう、これ謝らなきゃいけないやつですよ。
今だと思った。
Over 9,000って何Over 9,000 Over 9,000って一体何？申し訳ございませんでした。いいね。申し訳ございません is another great way to use. Make sure you use, yep, 窓を壊してしまいまして。申し訳ございませんでした。Over 9,000って勝手に何やってるんだろう。Okay, next please apologize for this. How dare you do whatever this guy did? You're this guy, by the way. DBZ joke. Oh, she deleted it. そうだね。You didn't have to delete it. よかったのに to go even further beyond.
謝らなきゃいけないんだもんね。
そう。いいんじゃねえか。So you are now this guy and it's time to apologize. Well, I gotta go. みんなさん、じゃあね says Portado. Potato. I don't know which one it is. Potato. See you later. Yuki says bye too. Here, you can wave.
Bye.
See ya. What is the Japanese script for it, by the way? For what? For the Dragon Ball Z one? It's over 8,000.
これも謝んなきゃいけないんだよ。
そうそう、これも。でも、Menkong, what is the Japanese script for it? I don't know if he's talking about Dragon Ball Z. DBZ? Oh, yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Are you talking about that actual part, over 9,000? Or are you talking about Dragon Ball Z? Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z だって。 I need to catch up, says Moody Wasabi. Moody Wasabi! Oh, hisashiburi desu. Good to see ya. In keigo, sumimasen maru maru. Do people use like deshita or just desu? Sumimasen deshita. Usually you're apologizing for something you've already done. It's already finished. Sumimasen deshita. Also, I will say my English reading or my username is different from my Japanese. I'll say my English reading or my username is different from my Japanese. なるほど。君の食べ物を食べてごめんね。てごめん。食べてごめん。じゃあね、potato. He doesn't look very sorry. No, he doesn't look sorry at all. He looks annoyed that he got caught. 僕は何しているんですか？食べてるかな？葉っぱを歯を壊してすみませんでした。こぼしてごめんなさい。なるほど。Oh, I didn't notice that. He spilled something on his tie. He spilled it looks like the donut. It must be a jelly donut. あなたの家を焼けてごめんね。Oh no. He burned down my house. And he's eating. このネクタイ洗ってくれる says Yuki-chan. What a jerk. Burned down my house and ate my donut? Or did he burn down my house while eating a donut? Alright. We're gonna skip this one. We're gonna move on to this. Please apologize for whatever you've done. You are the person who, well, you can just look at the picture and apologize for something. 汚く食べてごめん。いいね。食べててごめん。汚く食べててごめん。いいね。汚く食べててごめん。That's good. Alright. I don't know if you guys noticed. I feel like you probably noticed. But usually my head is over there. And the lesson is here. I've changed it because of the setup of the room. And my desk, I had to put the camera over here. Does that bother anyone? Or did you just not even notice? I'm curious about that. 私のバナナを踏んでね。私のバナナを踏んでるのは誰？光。病院に遅れてごめん。いいね。Whoa, I didn't even notice. Sweet. I'm glad nobody noticed. It's probably because I'm still facing it. So it still works out. Nice. That's what I was hoping. I noticed LOL, but I just thought, ooh, Annie's trying to spice up the lesson. Oh yeah. Spicing it up a little bit. マリオカートを遊ぶときにバナナを投げてごめん。いいね。Come to Japan, Dan. I like this side better. Nice. I'm happy to hear that. バナナを滑らせてごめんなさい。Excellent. Good job. That's a good sentence.
誰も謝らないんですけど、私に。
YukiにYuki's angry that nobody's apologizing to her for stepping on her banana. でも確かにね、そのバナナはまだまだ食べ終わってないね。The banana is still half uneaten, it looks like. Very. You are this dog. Apologize. Oh, this is kind of the same as the dude. I like that. I'll try and get my reverb figured out by next week. I'll download the stream and see what the sound's like, and I can mess around with the settings, so take that away a little bit. Ayamaranai. Ayamaranai. That's probably the best answer. You probably can't get much better than that. Ayamaranai. All right, we've got the setup now, right? So that this is the last question, by the way. We've got Yuki right over there. So like, what am I at? I'm at 18. Oh, that's as far out as I can go, actually. We got a TV there for Yuki, and we got an extra little portable dock so that we can stream with the Switch from her. We can actually stream her screen now because I got a new whatchamacallit. I forget what they're called. So, yeah, demo kore. Capture card for the Switch, so we can actually switch between my screen streaming games like Dragon Quest and Yuki's screen, so we can show both screens at different times, and so we can play very close, so that we can both be on camera. Eventually, we're gonna get another camera as well, so we can both be on camera. So that's the future of our gaming streams, probably on a different channel, because I want to keep that sort of separate from this channel, because a lot of people just want the Japanese lessons and they don't want to have to dig through a bunch of game streams to get to them. But yeah, so we're going to be working out this whole setup so that we can do more stuff together. Easier. You're welcome, Wananit. Thank you for hanging out. Good sentences. Otsukaresama deshita. Ayamaranai seems to be the consensus on this one, so I just want to say, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Whoa. 攻撃してください. Please smash that thumbs up button. I think everyone already has. チャンネル登録をお願いします. I don't have the O written there, but anyway, that means please subscribe. Smash that bell so you get notifications when I go live. Next week should be lesson 17. 1 week delayed. I'm very sorry about that. But we'll get on to lesson 17, and for those of you who are already patrons, the lesson 17 material will also most likely should release next Sunday as well. I just started DQ 11 and Nihongo got a prep for 10. Nice. Enjoy. Woo! All right, that's exciting. Yeah, so hopefully we can get, in the next few weeks, well, in the new year probably, we can get back into streaming Dragon Quest. We both paid for 2 months of, we subscribed for 2 months of Dragon Quest because we were actually playing solo a little bit. Just like when we had some extra time before we moved. But then we decided to move, and we haven't played since. Oh no, she worked for 30 days straight. That's what happened. She worked for 30 days straight, so we weren't able to play. And we haven't played since. That was a waste of 2 months subscription. But it wasn't that expensive. Keep delaying, please, and I might have a chance to finish Genki on. If I delay, I'll never start again. Gotta keep going, man. Gotta keep going. Thanks for the advertisement, Come to Japan. Are you guys gonna do the KFC thing for Christmas? No. No.
しないの?
KFC やりたいの?
いやでもやったことない。人生
やりたい? だから KFC は嫌いでしょ?
今年は好きかも。
いや、そんなバカな. Yuki doesn't like KFC, and she wants to. About once a year, she thinks, or once every 2 years, she's like, maybe I'll like it now. And she'll go to KFC, and she doesn't. And 2 years later, she's like, maybe I'll like it now because it looks delicious. And then she goes and she doesn't like it. And she's been doing this for a long time. No, we're not going to do the KFC thing. We might have a very small little thing with like my band. We might have them come over and make something, but it burns my throat every time I have it. Yeah. Not a big fan of the fried chicken thing on Christmas, but hopefully we'll do something. I don't know. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, chicken はしないって。
しない?
いや、まだわかんないけど。Alright, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. It was fun. It's good to be back. I'm glad you guys liked the new setup. 鶏 KFC ということは何ですか? KFC is Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's a fast food restaurant in the United States that also is popular in Japan. And it's popular in Japan for some reason because they ran a successful advertising campaign many years ago that convinced Japanese people that the thing you're supposed to do on Christmas is buy tons of KFC fried chicken and eat a Christmas cake. So Japanese people, lots of them every year, buy KFC. So KFC, you have to make reservations weeks in advance at KFC so that you can get your KFC fried chicken. And you go pick up your KFC fried chicken on Christmas Day and you eat it with your family and eat a Christmas cake. That's what Japanese people do for Christmas, for some reason. You're welcome, Info Abroad. You're welcome, Felipe. You're welcome, Red Claw. Oh, you're welcome, Nani, says Michael. So that's Christmas here. Marketing is the best. Everyone's so shocked to find out that Americans and like Europeans also don't eat KFC on Christmas. Japanese people all think we all, Westerners eat KFC on Christmas. They think that's what we do. No.
ちょっと騙しすぎるよね。
今日このストリームがしてくれてありがとうございます。こちらこそありがとうございます、メンコン。
ありがとうございます。
Christmas chicken. No, not Christmas chicken cake. Just a regular cake. The chicken is what they eat before the cake. Yeah, it's pretty epic. Should I go for KFC today? Maybe you should. Or no, gym. Definitely the gym. You have to reserve your chicken. It is ridiculous. It is so true. Yeah, reserving fast food chicken, right? Not like really expensive fried chicken or like imported from, I don't know, where, Texas? No. Nope. KFC. KFC is yuck, so I agree with Yuki. For me, it's roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. That sounds amazing. Roast beef. We should do roast beef. Or let's do steak.
You can try to make it.
I could try to make roast beef.
We have it.
Oven.
Oven.
We have an oven now. We have a big oven. Not a big oven. They don't have ovens in Japan either. Ovens aren't a thing here, really. そうだね。難しくない。そうそうそう。
ホイルにくるくるって置いとく。
そうだね。やってみようか。Anyway, yeah, we have an oven now, so maybe we can make something like that. Spinach pie. That could be good. Yuki's getting excited about Christmas over here behind me. Throwing out ideas. Alright, ちょっと待って。Infobroad says, Yuki, thanks for being amazing in the background. Woo! Companies would kill for that kind of PR. Agreed. They probably did. 聞いたことがない。何それ says Michael. でしょ? Thanks, so nice to pop back into the live stream. We'll try to get back to study in 2021. 頑張ってください, Chris. Good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. Turducken or nothing? Turducken. Stuff a duck in a turkey. Forgot about that. She should be the channel mascot. She basically is. Didn't you know, guys, that if you're a member, you can have a Yuki Banana Queen sticker. She is the mascot.
So
I think I'm going to make a steak for Christmas also. Yeah, steak. I've been getting good at making steak, and I'd like to eat some more of it. You need to have it with Yorkshire pudding, though, and some horseradish sauce. I feel like it's very hard to get horseradish here, but we might be able to. Oh no, wasabi da ne? Wasabi. We could just use wasabi. Yorkshire pudding I don't really know how to make, but maybe I can figure it out. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. Maybe we'll join you on Christmas, Carpe Diem. Eggnog, yeah. I wish you could buy it. It was a pain in the neck to make. It was scary to make. Would you like to jump in here? それじゃないの? Yes, I'll have to send my bread recipe to Yuki. いいね, Rad Call. Please send all the recipes. All of them. All the recipes. Huge myth that the KFC and McDonald's taste better. In Japan, honestly, neither is nothing special. They're pretty much the same, as far as I can tell. Someone said something about their KFC.
ね、どうしてさ KFC が勝ったんだろうね。どうしてさチクフィレじゃなかったんだろう。
知らねえ。
なんでなんだ。
KFC is good in my opinion, but for Christmas dinner, hell no. Yeah, okay, that's what I missed. I want eggnog so bad. A couple of years ago, before I left Japan for the first time, my friend and I made it. We made a huge batch of eggnog by hand, because you can't get it here. So we made it by hand, and it was really good. We actually did a really good job, but it's terrifying when you realize everything that's in it. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scarier to drink it. It's massive, just a calorie bomb. Fortunately, we were lifting pretty heavy at the time, so we didn't mind. Jasmine for the win. Greetings. Good evening. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Dan, you just want to get drunk. I don't usually drink eggnog with alcohol. I don't like eggnog with rum in it. I prefer just straight eggnog. We did put some rum in it, but I like to drink a lot of it, just for fun, without the alcohol. Nothing against it, just not a big fan. All right, guys. Well, Thank you for hanging out. This has been Tokini Andy and Yuki. So we'll see you next week for lesson 17. What were you doing, Yuki? 手で何やってたのって。
あ、特に何もやってない。
特に何もやってないんですって。Nothing in particular, she said. Alright, guys. Have a good night, have a good day, and we will see you next week for lesson 17. Keep it up, keep studying. We'll see you soon. It's time for... Where are my buttons? It's been too long. Ah, this. ありがとう。
お疲れ様でした。
また次のビデオで会いましょうね。日本語勉強したいのか？俺と同じ風に日本語を喋れるようになりたいのか？この本持ってるのか？ Then we're here to help. え、そうなの？俺は無理って言おうと思った。On the Tokini Andy Patreon, we have listening and shadowing practice, Genki vocabulary practice, Genki textbook practice where Yuki, Ando, and I are your partners. Eventually, even workbook practice. え、そうなの？給料出る？
確かに。
Yeah, sure.
給料出るんだ。
After Genki 1, we'll be covering Genki 2, and eventually even intermediate textbooks. Detailed grammar lessons and Japanese Q&As will, as always, be on the YouTube for free. Tokini Andy Patreon, live right now. よろしくね。
よろしくお願いします。